Hello, my name is Erin O'Dwyer, and thank you for visiting my video on my course, Reading Signposts. And so in this course, I created two modules, and it begins with, in this course, you will learn how to recognize an author's craft moves and apply those moves to an analysis of your self-selected novel. And so this course is designed for grade 7 students who are taking an English class. In Module 1, students are just getting to know each other and they are learning a little bit about themselves through a reading identity project. And in the beginning of each course, I leave the students a note saying they can email me about any questions, ideas, or suggestions they may have. And so that's available to them at all times. In the first part of each module, I also have a very short description of the main idea. And so in this one, it's all about learning what a reading identity is within themselves. And so I give them a brief description of that. And then also I tell them about the module activities and the assessment. Okay, so in activity 1, students are watching a video about a teacher's reading identity. And in the second activity, they take a short survey where they answer a few questions about their reading habits, their likes and dislikes. And then when they get to activity 3, they are going to be looking at reading identity defined through kind of like a clicking activity with categories up at the very top. And so they have 5 different categories to look at: attitude, self-efficacy, habits, book choice, and their process when reading. And within each of these, it gives them just some questions to think about when they are assessing their own reading identity. The next part of this activity is where they actually design their own reading poster, and they have the option to create a digital poster or one that is handmade. And so these are the examples. And then finally, in activity 4, students will post their poster that they made, and they can also like or add a comment to anybody else's poster that they see. And so the main purpose of this module is based in brain-based learning theory, in that it's important that students feel comfortable in their learning environment and they feel supported. And that's the reason why I'm having them kind of look in towards themselves and think about who they are as a reader, but then also get to know their classmates and get to know me a little bit before we move forward with some of the more complicated concepts of this course. In the second module, students are introduced to the 6 signposts in fiction. And again, they can contact me and I give them a brief definition of the signpost activities and a little heads up on what the assessment will be at the end of this module. So in activity 1, students are introduced to the 6 signposts through a presentation and a video. The presentation is made up of about 10 slides, and it just gives them a brief overview of what each signpost is and a definition for it, and also a question that they might want to ask themselves when they run into this reading signpost. In the next activity, students use flashcards to just check their understanding of each term. In activity 3, students have 6 videos to watch, and they also have notes to use while watching the video. In activity 4, students are taking a quiz, and in this quiz, they can take the quiz as many times as they need until they achieve 100%. The quiz is giving the students authentic questions based on a book that they had read in their last unit called Out of My Mind by Sharon Draper. So it's a book that all students are familiar with and was discussed in class. When students take the quiz, they read the question and they decide which signpost this event from the book relates to. So if by chance they don't select the correct answer, they will get the option to try again. And there we have it. Okay, and that is it for Module 2. if I were to build this course out entirely, students would eventually have a project where they would be analyzing their own self-selected novels to identify signposts and then talk about how the identification of those signposts helps them to analyze their books more. All right, and that is it for me. Thank you so much.